Pompeii, like many ancient Roman cities, was a place of vibrant cultural and social life, but it also had aspects that were sinful or morally corrupt. Some of the behaviors and practices that have been highlighted in discussions of Pompeii's moral landscape include Pompeii was known for its lavish banquets and feasts. The wealthy citizens indulged in excessive eating and drinking, which could be seen as a sign of gluttony. Pompeii had numerous brothels, and sexual imagery was commonplace in public and private spaces. The city's open attitude towards sexuality, including practices considered immoral, is often cited as an example of its moral decline. The citizens of Pompeii worshipped a pantheon of Roman gods and goddesses, which could be seen as idolatry, especially from a monotheistic religious perspective. The city had many temples and shrines dedicated to these deities. Gambling was a popular pastime in Pompeii, and dice and other gaming tools have been found in the ruins. Excessive gambling was often associated with greed and moral recklessness. Pompeii, like other Roman cities, hosted gladiatorial games, which were brutal and bloody. These spectacles were seen as a form of entertainment, but involved violence and death, which could be viewed as morally reprehensible. The wealthy citizens of Pompeii often displayed their wealth and status through extravagant homes, art, and clothing. This focus on materialism and vanity could be seen as sinful, reflecting pride and a lack of humility. Despite the wealth in Pompeii, there was also poverty. The disparity between the rich and the poor, and the lack of charity or care for the less fortunate, could be seen as a moral failing. These aspects of life in Pompeii contribute to the idea that the city's destruction might have been seen as divine judgment for its collective sins. Before disaster struck, there were signs, warnings that many in Pompeii ignored. Earthquakes rattled the city and strange phenomena occurred, but the people of Pompeii carried on with their lives, oblivious to the impending doom. From a religious perspective, these events could be seen as warnings from the divine, a call to repent and change their ways. But the people of Pompeii did not heed these signs, and their continued disregard would lead to their downfall. On August 24, 79 AD, the sleeping giant, Mount Vesuvius, awoke with terrifying power. From a religious standpoint, this moment is seen as divine judgment. The eruption was not just a natural disaster, it was a manifestation of God's divine wrath, a punishment for the city's moral decay. As the sky darkened and ash began to fall, the people of Pompeii were engulfed in panic. The very ground beneath them seemed to turn against them, and there was no escape from the destruction that followed. After hours of ashfall, Vesuvius unleashed a series of pyroclastic flows, fast-moving currents of superheated gas and volcanic material that raced down the mountain at incredible speeds. These flows were so hot and powerful that they instantly destroyed everything in their path. The people who hadn't escaped were overcome by the intense heat and suffocating gases. In just a few minutes, Pompeii was buried under meters of ash and pumice, and all life in the city was extinguished. When the eruption finally ended, Pompeii was gone, buried under 15 to 20 feet of ash. The once bustling city was now a silent graveyard. Over time, Pompeii was forgotten, covered by layers of soil and vegetation. It wasn't until nearly 1,700 years later, in 1748, that the city was rediscovered by archaeologists. What they found was astonishing, a city almost perfectly preserved, with buildings, streets, and even people frozen in time. The city, frozen in time, became a powerful symbol and a warning to future generations. In religious interpretations, Pompeii serves as a reminder of the consequences of turning away from moral and virtuous living. The ruins of Pompeii, rediscovered centuries later, stand as a testament to the judgment that befell the city, and as a